Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress video. We're doing a pick a pile reading today. Please remember, always, that I do tarot readings. Link.e/Mixtress Ray. Yeah, I'm just trying to promote myself a little bit more because, it'd be really cool if I made more money at tarot readings because I really, really love doing them. So, here we are with the pick a pile. Free reading for you. Okay, so I'm re-recording this because I did this yesterday and I don't know, my camcorder is really pissing me off. But I changed some settings and I hopefully fixed the issues. I am hoping because I would really like to use a camcorder instead of my phone all the time because my phone is only 64 gigabytes. Anyway. Let's just go ahead, light some incense, and we can also, you know what, let me describe the piles first so you can just take this time where I'm lighting incense and, all that kind of crap, to think about which pile you want to use, you want to choose. We have pile 1, beaver and birch, keyword is home. Pile 2, frog and lotus, keyword is metamorphosis. And pile 3, hawk and thistle, graceful persistence. So you could even, with the way, I just chose these cards randomly, but you could even choose based on element, because with beaver we sort of have earth and water. With frog, we have mostly water, and with hawk, it's air, right? But of course, earth is represented on all the cards as well because of the plants. Okay, if you want to set an intention for this reading, I don't know how this reading is going to go. Yesterday it was very love-focused, but based on the cards that came out for the first card, which is these 3, home, metamorphosis, and graceful persistence. What I'm seeing here is, obviously you can see the title of the video, but what I'm seeing here is that we're probably going to be dealing with just sort of like getting through the holidays. I'm thinking that this reading will be sort of a how to get through now until the end of the year. Okay, so if you want to set an intention for the reading, now's the time. I'll just sort of set this over here. Light the incense. Okay, so I have not shuffled any cards yet, but if you need more time to choose your pile, pause here. This little trash can on the floor, my foot keeps like kicking it. I don't want you guys to have to hear that throughout the whole video. Okay, let's start with pile 1. With beaver and birch. Okay. And I'm going to, actually, where is that? just for funsies, as an intro to your pile. I'm still getting to know this this oracle deck. It's Woodland Wardens. So this is card number 30. I'm going to read a little bit about beaver and birch from the guidebook. The beaver works hard to build the lodge where it raises its young. Using twigs, grasses, rocks, and mud, it constructs a safe environment for its family as well as a natural habitat for migrating birds. Birch trees symbolize new beginnings, and they seldom grow alone. In medieval Europe, they were used as maypoles in pagan celebrations of midsummer. Because their wood was thought to protect the young and ward off evil spirits, it was often used to build cradles. Okay, so that's given me an idea of what we're doing here. Home, protection, warding off evil. Now is a time to focus on nesting, homesteading, and settling down. Decorate and tend to your environment in a way that supports a feeling of home. And then if you just want some journaling prompts, there are a couple of questions here. What do I appreciate about my home? Is my home a place or a feeling? Okay, so that tells me what we are focusing on for your reading, pile 1. We are focusing on home. How can you feel more at home at the end of your year? Oh, and if you hear a ding in the background, it's going to be pretty far away because it's like 2 rooms away. I'm hoping I'll hear it from here, actually. It's my tea. My tea is ready. Should be in the next couple of minutes. That timer will go off. Okay. And we're just getting, I don't have, yeah, I'm just going to see how this plays out. I'm not going to be too precious about it. You know, whatever comes out, comes out. And I think I'm just going to have these cards sort of overlap a little so I can get as many on here as possible. Let's do, let's pick some oracle too before I, okay, before I get too crazy here. So I'm going to pick a song from my Mixtress oracle. Link to my oracle decks down below. I'm going to use them both in this video. Try to shuffle on camera because I love watching people shuffle. So maybe you do too. Okay, there it is. Wait, there's 2. Okay, you're getting 2 songs. You're getting Army of Me by Björk. And you're getting, it's like overexposed. I hope you can see it. By This River by Brian Eno. And I will read the lyrics to those 2 here in a minute. And then I'm going to pick from Magic and Medicine of Plants, my other oracle deck. Probably just 1 because we're only going to be able to fit like a couple more cards on here. And I don't want to have to zoom out. So what plant? I mean, obviously you already have birch. Okay, this card came out for a pile that I did yesterday. This is Scarlet Bergamot Awakening. Is the key word on this one. So that is encouraging to me that, like, even though the video yesterday did not really work out, that is encouraging to me that we're going to be still getting the right messages. Yeah. Okay, then I'm just going to pull from Vintage Wisdom Oracle, since it's a great basic oracle deck. What does pile 1 need to know about home? How to create a sense of home for their sort of holiday season, just like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Yule times. Yep, I got this card yesterday too. Okay, that encourages me that even though the video didn't work yesterday, it will work today, and we'll get the right messages for those same people that need them. So we have divine timing. Oh, I really want to drink my tea, but it's not really ready yet. Well, it should be, actually. It should be ready. I don't know why I probably just didn't hear the buzzer, because it's like 2 rooms away. Well, that was my test. I can't hear it from in here. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of my tea, and then I'll start flipping over the cards we haven't flipped yet, which is really all the tarot. Okay, let's get a sense of what we're doing here before I flip over the tarot. So we're going to focus on home. We already know that. Protection, warding off evil spirits. Like the thing with you guys is, it's interesting because like divine timing and awakening mixed with home by this river is a very, very calming song. But then we also have Army of Me, which is a very angry song. I'm actually going to move everybody up a little bit so I can have more shuffling, gesturing space down here. Okay. Does that still look like everything's in shot? Yes. Okay. Good. This is like a test I've been having so many problems with my camcorder, guys. Today is a test. If it looks good today, then, and the battery lasts throughout the video, I'm going to be really happy. I'm going to be really happy. Okay. So I feel like we have a mixture of things here. Like, especially if we are going to be dealing with sort of now through the end of the year, kind of going into 2023, I'm just thinking Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Yule times, winter, but especially like the beginning of winter that we're dealing with. Well, we're kind of like end of fall, beginning of winter. So this is the time period that we're looking at here. And because you sort of have these alternating energies of like the calm of home and the calm of by this river mixed with awakening and Army of Me, which are very vibrant, fiery, like judgment card vibes, right? So let me read the lyrics. Army of Me, Björk. Stand up, you've got to manage. I won't sympathize anymore. If you complain once more, you'll meet an army of me. You're all right. There's nothing wrong. Self-sufficiency, please. So this is a very harsh song. This is a very like, get up and move on, bitch, kind of vibe. It's intense. And it's kind of aggressive, even, energy. And then with By This River, here we are, stuck by this river, you and I, underneath the sky that's ever falling down, 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 ever falling down. Through the day, as if on an ocean, waiting here, always failing to remember why we came. I wonder why we came. You talk to me as if from a distance, and I reply with impressions chosen from another time, from another time. So this song has always reminded me of making mixtapes in order to communicate with people. Like before I was able to articulate my feelings in this life, I was making mixes for people to communicate how I felt. Not just like, the typical, like, I have a crush on you sort of mixtapes, but it was also, I would use mixes in general, whether I was giving them to someone or not. That's why I call myself the Mixtress. I would use mixtapes to communicate, to sort out my feelings and communicate my feelings. It's almost like your sense of home. I'm getting sort of the feeling that your sense of home might be elsewhere right now. So you might be in a long distance relationship, maybe. It might be that the people that you really love are no longer with you. It might be that like this Thanksgiving/Christmas will be the first Thanksgiving/Christmas without a certain grandparent or a parent. And so it's like you have to renegotiate what a sense of home is because this person is no longer with us. I get this feeling that like this By This River card is kind of a communication either over long distance physically or like between the living and the dead. It's like you have to create a sense of presence and a new sense of home without them. Let's see. I haven't even flipped over the tarot cards yet, which, yeah. Let's see what we've got with that. High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Cups. We definitely got Queen of Cups yesterday. Okay, I'm just sorry I keep pointing that out, but it's like, it's reaffirming to me that like, it's okay that I lost the video yesterday. We're still going to get the right messages. Six of Cups, also got that yesterday. And Nine of Cups. So you have the potential, if you are worried about this holiday season, about creating a sense of home, maybe you are hosting some like family gatherings at your house for the first time because the matriarch of the family has passed on, or there's been some kind of falling out in the family, or maybe you've moved far away from your family, and even though they're still alive, you're having to create new rituals in a new space. And this is really affirming to me that you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to capture that sense of nostalgia. If you're worried about like maybe you have become the new matriarch in your family or patriarch or whatever, if you have become that and you're worried about being able to do it, this Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups means that you're creating new memories. You are passing on you might literally be trying recipes that you've never tried before, that have been a part of the family for a long time. So you feel like there's pressure on you to get it right because you're going to be able to get it right. You are. And it's going to be an awakening moment for you because it's like you're going to be stepping into a new role, is what I see. Like it's all coming back around. And you are becoming that Queen of Cups, and you are passing on the nostalgia. This new nostalgia is being created for future generations right now. And it can be a lot of pressure to hold up that role, but you're going to be able to do it if that's a part of your story here. I feel almost like this Army of Me card is like, there's that family member. I feel like I always do like a reading around Thanksgiving time because it's just like, it's a hard time of year for me. I have a lot of food issues. And so there's going to be that one family member, maybe one or more, that is going to be bringing the fire. They're going to be bringing the fire like they always do. But I feel like this time it's going to be okay. You know, it's almost like it's a much needed jolt to the system, whatever that sort of like. I feel like if you're worried about like family fighting situations this Thanksgiving, Christmas, anytime you might be spending time with family, I don't think it's going to be a problem this year. Or you're going to be uniquely ready to deal with it in a way that you haven't been before. It's like it's going to feel like, okay, this is why we do this. This is why we get together every year. We need to do it. We need to actually be around each other. It's almost like there could be certain family members that, you know those family members that you deal with on social media. Luckily, I am not on social media with any of my family, and I would highly recommend it. But if you are on social media with actual family that you're going to be seeing in person in the next couple of months, it's almost like seeing them in person is going to remind you, oh yeah, they're not actually an asshole. They just have a stupid persona online. And it's always like a push and pull of like, when you see what someone's like online, is it like their real self that's online? Or is their real self in person? And I tend to go with their real self as the person that you experience in person, not how they are online. Because how they are online is a persona that they want to project. Sometimes it's like, why are you wanting to project that? But I think being around family in whatever sense that means for you, like if that's literal family, or maybe in your case it's chosen family, because like talking about going back to this beaver card with home, beaver and birch, home is what you make it. And there's a sense of you making it. I really think that like if you're not taking any control over the like sort of family gatherings, if you weren't planning to take any control over the family gatherings, this year take some control. This year, even if it's all that you're doing, maybe you're not actually hosting Thanksgiving or Christmas at your house, maybe you're not actually cooking anything or anything like that, but maybe you are going to be taking control of some conversations. There's going to be some opportunities for empathy and for having productive conversations with family members. And that's always hard, right? Like, don't do it if you don't have the energy, but I see you having the energy to do it this year. I see you being able to do it. It's almost like conversations you've wanted to have for years, you're going to actually be able to have now. I think this divine timing card is just like, it's going to feel, there's going to be some closure, because I'm equating this awakening card to sort of a judgment card. And this by this river card is a very calm card. So I feel like whatever control that you can take over really feeling at home, really feeling comforted by your family, take the comfort where you can get it and push it out. Like if there's a little moment of peace and calm, figure out a way to expand it throughout the whole day. Whatever calm and home and family, bring a little bit of nostalgia in. Like maybe you can bring an old photo album to the family gathering and have everybody like pass it around. Like I almost just feel like you're going to be bringing people together. And even if that's just having a drink with friends at the bar after the Thanksgiving meal, like everybody's already dealt with their families, and then you all meet for a drink. Maybe you're out of town, maybe you're in your hometown again, and you can meet with old school friends at the bar after the craziness of Thanksgiving. I feel like there's an opportunity for you to bring people together. And we have all these cups here, all of these emotions, but I feel like the emotions are going to be, with the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, Six of Cups, and Nine of Cups. It's a lot of emotions, but I feel like there's an opportunity to, like, you'll be able to control those emotions, if that makes sense. You'll be able to have influence over them. So don't allow yourself to feel like you don't have any influence, because you do. Even if you're not the matriarch of your family, even if you can't be with the family members that you want to be with, because I do see this as kind of a long distance communication card. So keep in touch with whoever it is that's not here. And even if it's someone that's no longer with us on this plane of existence, keep in touch with them somehow. Talk to them. Talk to them. And use whatever means of communication. If you are also a tarot reader yourself, use a tarot deck to communicate with them. Use, whatever, spirit boards, whatever, or just sit and talk. Keep them abreast of what's going on with you. And imagine that they can hear you. Because we don't fucking know. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. Do it. It's going to make you feel better. I'm just saying. So this is pretty beautiful, I think. I think it's a good time to move on to pile 2. Okay, pile 2 was Frog and Lotus with Metamorphosis. And I am going to read a little bit from the guidebook for Frog and Lotus, just to kind of get a sense of what we're looking at here. So this is card number 6. This card reminds us that, maybe I should hold it up while I'm doing this, even though my ring light is making it difficult to hold up something. Okay, here we go. That's okay. This card reminds us that change is natural, rebirth is possible, and a healing balance can be achieved. The frog, developing as it does from a tiny tadpole, symbolizes transformation. The lotus flower, too, symbolizes rebirth, unfurling, even amid murky waters. Going through such a change can be difficult and a struggle, but the resulting metamorphosis opens us to growth, self-acceptance, and happiness. Consider what in your life needs changing and think about the steps you can take to achieve that change. You owe it to yourself to allow your own growth and rebirth. What can I change in myself or my life for the better? How can I be more accepting of change I cannot control? So this is reminding me just right off the bat of the Serenity Prayer. You know, change the things you can and accept the things you can't. You know, that that's not the exact quote, but you know what I mean. So I'm getting the sense that, okay, so as sort of advice for, sorry, this deck is loud to shuffle with, sort of advice on how to deal with Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, holiday, family situations. I feel like we all just need extra support at this time of year. Yeah. That was the strength card. I am taking that one. I'm not going to take all 4 because this deck tends to like really spit out the cards. Okay, Chariot. So we already know. We might as well keep this one flipped because we already saw it. We already have Strength and Chariot. So 2 major arcana cards. So as far as like facing off with family, I see, oh yeah, 5 of Wands. I see that it's going to be a bit more of a challenge for pile 2. And you're going to be called to affect change. Like maybe don't meet with your family this year. Maybe do something different that you don't usually do. And that's so hard. Like I tried to make some suggestions for my family this year. Just a couple of suggestions on how maybe we could do things differently, but that was not even like one of the very, very tiny suggestions that I made is that we leave off one of the dishes that we usually have. And even that, it was a small thing. It wasn't like I was suggesting that we not have pumpkin pie or sweet potatoes or turkey or anything like that. It was just a small side dish that I was saying, hey, maybe we just don't need as much food this year. Like maybe we could just not do that. My family was like, what? A change? No, it cannot be. We cannot do something differently. Anyway, so I failed at that, but okay, we might have to come back to the tarot. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. I feel like we're going to need more cards for this pile. So let's pick a song. What song does pile 2 need to, not necessarily listen to, because it's more about the oracle message from the song, but if you are called to listen to the song, of course I would recommend that. This one. And then we'll choose from Magic and Medicine of Plants Oracle. And both of these decks right here, this one and this one, are the ones that I created. So you can have them for yourself if you want to, you know, pay indie deck prices on Make Playing Cards. Okay, we got Burdock and Detox. So yeah, there's more, you are being called to influence your situation right now. To have the strength, and this could even be referring to like sort of like New Year's resolutions type stuff. If there are some changes in your life that you would like to make, and you do sort of use this time of year to reflect and maybe make some of those changes, this is your go ahead. This is your encouragement with Strength and Chariot and Five of Wands and Detox and this Metamorphosis Frog card here. Like, yes, it's time. It's time to make some changes, for sure. It's time to allow yourself to make changes. Like, things do not have to stay the same. Things can't stay the same. And then, let's see, what else do we want here? What else do we want? Let's do, yeah, just another tarot card. Okay. Now let's flip everybody over. So we do have, again, Frog and Lotus, Metamorphosis, Strength, Lovers, Chariot, 6, 7, 8, Five of Wands, the Fool. Okay, so both of these cards I got yesterday in the same pile. So, yeah, just saying, we're still in alignment with what I was trying to do yesterday. Abundance. Gorgeous. Your song is Prayer of St. Francis. Hell yeah. I mean, basically, if I had the Serenity Prayer as a card in my deck, I mean, here it is. It's not the same, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to read it right now. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. That I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it's in giving that we receive. It's in dying that we are born to eternal life. And there's like a missing line or two in there just because I couldn't fit it on the card. But yeah, that's the actual prayer of St. Francis, I think. I'm not Catholic, but I think. And if you want a beautiful version of it in song form, consult Sarah McLachlan, because you will not be disappointed. That song is just, it gives me so many goosebumps. Okay. It's also like kind of an awakening card, kind of a judgment card, kind of a resurrection card as well. And then we have 8 of Pentacles. Also got that yesterday. And 8 of Swords. Also got that yesterday. Okay. Sorry, I keep pointing that out. Okay, so 4 major arcana cards, 1 wand, 1 sword, 1 pentacle. We have detox, metamorphosis, abundance. Yeah, I mean, it's, if you were hoping to be non-confrontational, it's not going to serve you right now. Make sure that whatever confrontation you need to have, whether this be like with a family member, with a partner, with friends, whatever it is, not everybody's going to make it through. What I mean by that is not everybody in your life at the end of this sort of like renegotiation of what you want out of your life who is serving you and who isn't. And that's the wrong wording to say who is serving you and who isn't. I just mean who is good for you and who isn't. Who is a ride or die versus motherfucker you don't trust. Recently, I had one of my readings that I did for my patrons over on Patreon. The advice that I gave them one day was to sit down and make a list of like top 10 ride or die bitches, top 10 motherfuckers I don't trust. Or just 10 motherfuckers I don't trust. I guess it's not top 10. But, and it seems like kind of a heartless exercise, but I would almost say that would be a good idea for you to do as well. And lead with kindness. You know, this is not about like cutting people out of your life ruthlessly. This is about, and I usually see the Five of Wands as a card of like, yeah, I can be like gossip and infighting and like, but it's also these fights need to happen. This is usually a fight between family, coworkers, people that do have a lot of things in common. There's a basis of having things in common. And you're fighting about shit, but these are fights that need to happen because we have to have the little fights as they come up, or else they're going to turn into really huge fights. And having these 2 8s here on the end, it's going to be work. It's going to be repetitive, refining work to deal with the mind traps that you've set up. I feel like you're probably feeling like you're kind of in a stagnant place right now. Maybe you're not feeling very abundant. For some of you, I'm seeing kind of the combination of this detox card and the prayer of St. Francis because I'm like equating it to the serenity prayer because of what was said in the card description of the frog and lotus. I'm getting a vibe of like, for some of you, you're going to have to literally detox on something. There's something in your life that you might need to give up for a time. And doing that, like, you know, just the easiest example with something like this is like, you know, say you've been drinking too much and you decide 2023, maybe you're going to do a dry January or something, just to see how it goes. If that's a thought process that you've been having, I would say that's a good starting off point for what might be beneficial to you. Because, and it's going to bring up some stuff. You know, things are going to bubble to the surface. But as long as you're directing your own life, and I feel like there's a certain sense of you're not doing that right now. You're not taking control of your life. But in order to step out of these restraints over here in the Eight of Swords, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work. There's going to have to be I feel like your best advice for how to deal with the things that you need to deal with is like developing your relationship to spirituality, however that looks for you. Whatever prayer looks like for you, I think is going to be also really important in the coming months for you, pile 2. I mean, I don't see like, I feel like an energy of sort of like it's going to be heavy, but it's going to be sort of a daily grind of like you're going to be taking it a day at a time. I feel like I'm using a lot of like addiction language here. So there's some people that like you are going to be dealing with overcoming addictions. And that's a beautiful thing because you are going to find abundance. And just equating this to myself, like I'm still incrementally. I've made progress, but I'm still suffering from a lot of like shopping addiction issues. And I've never really seen the Eight of Pentacles in this way, but in this reading, I'm seeing this as a taking it a day at a time kind of thing. Like maybe every day sort of looks the same for a minute, but it's part of the process. It's part of what needs to be done to get back to yourself. Because I generally see the Lover's card as more about aligning with the best version of yourself, the self-actualized version of you. I see that. It's your relationship to divinity more so than your relationship to another person. But it's going to have to be self-directed. It's going to be about choosing love over fear. It's going to be about, again, I haven't even mentioned this one yet, but the Fool mentality, I think, is like the most important way to approach life. You have to approach life with wonder and joy and openness in order to get anything back from it. To get anything back from life, you have to put something forward. And maybe you're at a point in your life where you've spent a lot of time just sort of surviving. And that, it's like, okay, I think this is kind of where you are with the Eight of Swords, and this is where you want to be with the Eight of Pentacles. It's an incremental change. You know, like at this time next year, you're going to be maybe working hard, refining your craft, but you're going to be upright. You're going to be seeing clearly. You're going to have gotten over some things, and you might even have to remind yourself, once you get to this point, you might even have to remind yourself of how far you've come. You might have to remind yourself, hey, I'm not here anymore. Or maybe that's what you're dealing with right now. Maybe this time at the end of the year, it's time to focus on how far you've come instead of on how far you still need to go. So I see this pile 2 as more of an internally focused pile. So if you were the type of person that you chose pile 1 and pile 2, I would say in your case, pile 1 is more about your persona, how you project yourself to others, more of your like interpersonal communication style through the end of the year. And this is more the internal focus. The internal focus is on metamorphosis. And maybe that metamorphosis I don't see it as huge. I see it as incremental. I see it as like some changes need to be made. You're at this point where you're ready to admit the problem that you have. Again, I don't know a lot about like AA stuff, but so like take this all with a grain of salt. But I see this detox card, this prayer of St. Francis, and this Eight of Pentacles I see as like taking it a day at a time. And strength is the choice of choosing love over fear, getting back to your self-actualized self, directing your own chariot again. This could even be like if you're a person that like has had problems with DUIs, you might be getting your license back this year, you know? And that's going to be a big moment for you. But it's going to be taken, fighting those battles. This is more an internally focused pile, I think. But you are on your way. Allow yourself to take it as slow as you need to. It doesn't have to be really dramatic, It's about accepting yourself and accepting peace. And yeah, if there's something that you feel like you should give up for a time, detox is not necessarily giving something up forever. It's giving it up for a time to see how you feel. Cleansing whatever that is out of your system to see how you feel at that point and then reassess, right? And especially this might be a mindset that if what you're thinking about giving up is going to be really, really, really fucking hard for you, it might be a good idea. In the end, maybe you'll decide to give it up forever. But it might be a good idea for you right now to choose to give it up for now. To be like, okay, I'm going to do a dry January in whatever sense that means. Maybe you're going to stop shopping for a month, or stop drinking for a month, or stop some other shitty behavior, shitty addictive behavior that you have. If you tell yourself I'm going to do it for a month, at that point you might see, I had a friend recently that did this. She gave up drinking for a month and it was really hard for her. And even though she did resume drinking afterwards, she did so with a mindfulness that she didn't have before she took 30 days off. And it was a big change for her. It was an awakening moment for her. And that's what I wish for you. Pile 2. Okay, just going to end that one here and move on to pile 3. With Hawk and Thistle, Graceful Persistence. So I can already see that, like, what I'm thinking for you, pile 3, whereas pile 1 was about taking on sort of a nurturing role and spreading peace, and pile 2 was more about internal transformation. I feel like for you, and I could be wrong, I mean, we'll see what kind of cards come out here, but for you, pile 3, I'm seeing more of a continue doing what you've been doing vibe. I'm going to read a little from the guidebook here. This is card, what is XL? I don't know. I do not know. 50 maybe? XL. I don't know. I think it's 50. I think it's card 54. Doesn't matter. Graceful persistence. The hawk is a keen and vigilant observer, so much so that watchful and hawk-eyed have become synonyms. An apex predator, the hawk glides gracefully on the wind, its sharp talons ever at the ready. The thistle can thrive in a variety of environments, from verdant hills to rocky shores. Its spiked, stinging leaves protect its radiant flower, which perches like a crown upon its stem. You can act fiercely while maintaining your grace and dignity. Sharpen your talons, but don't lose your crown. Am I too easily influenced by my environment? How can I thrive in a difficult situation? So if we're talking like, difficult family dynamics over holiday times, I just lost my thought process on that. I'd say this is calling on you not necessarily to, you don't have to like shove your views down someone else's throat. And you can have empathy without having too much. So this is sort of it's a steady temperance kind of energy of like tread lightly. Don't try to like change anybody's mind on anything right now. Just be even. Be even like you are. Be peaceful, be zen. Because the more like calmly you present your ideas, the better they will be received. One here, and then we'll come back to that if I need to. Yeah, it's almost like I want to encourage you to be an observer right now. Sort of stand back. Don't let yourself get emotionally involved. Yeah, that's what this is. That's sort of like, especially if you tend to be the kind of person that sort of over empathizes with people. This is your invitation. This is your sort of like message to, let other people have the feelings. Let other people work out the feelings. If you're in the middle of like a fight with family members or some shit, just let them fight. Just let them fucking fight. Be the Zen one. And every once in a while, if somebody asks you what you think, you can drop one little nugget, a very even-toned observation. And that will be what people remember from the huge argument. Maybe you've said 2 sentences during the entire argument, but those are the 2 sentences everyone else is going to remember because it was calm and it was... Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting right now. And you're getting 2 from Magic and Medicine of Plants. That's kind of cut off, so scooch, 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 scooch. And then we need a song. Okay, there it is. How soon is now? So this is kind of a whiny song, so I'm interested to see how that relates to the vibes that I've set out so far. I am the sun and the air of a shyness that is criminally vulgar. I am the sun and the air of nothing in particular. You shut your mouth. How can you say I go about things the wrong way? I am human and I need to be loved, just like everybody else does. When you say it's going to happen now, well, when exactly do you mean? Okay, one more tarot card too. There it is. I think it's reversed. Yep, it's reversed. King of Swords. Yeah, this is not the time. It's not the time to reveal the truth. When you say it's going to happen now, well, when exactly do you mean? Well, not now. There's a withholding energy here, and I think that's going to be your best way through. Do not reveal all of your feelings about the current situation or whatever interpersonal shit is going on in your family or whatever. It's time to stay silent. I think. We'll see. Yep, 4 swords. The Chariot. We got that in the last pile too. The World. King of Cups. Yep. Being emotionally controlled. And then we've got Holly, Cleansing. Very Christmassy card, right? And, oh, hey, we got this for pile 1. So if you picked pile 1 and pile 3, this is acknowledging the awakening is real for you. Even if you wanted to deny that card when you picked pile 1, it's still haunting you. Hanged Man. Yep. That sense of waiting. And then intention. So it's like people aren't going to know your intentions unless you stay very, very quiet. Wait until they ask you for your opinion. The 4 of Swords and the Hanged Man. And, that was Knight of Swords reversed. Did I say King earlier? I think I did. That changes things a little bit. Because I was thinking, don't reveal the truth when I thought it was King of Swords reversed. But as Knight of Swords reversed, I would say that's more just inaction. Because the Knight of Swords I think of as the sort of the white knight, the sort of person that's swooping in to save you, the person that like you can call and they will be at your doorstep in less than 5 minutes to help you. And this is opposite of that. This is like, don't help anyone right now. Don't help anyone move. Don't. It's interesting how that plays with the Chariot though, because all of these other cards to me, graceful persistence, sort of being the hawk, sort of being the observer of the situation. Four of Swords and Hanged Man, yeah, being very zen, being very meditative. I really see a very measured appearance to you. You may internally have a lot of emotions about the situation, and I kind of see this How Soon Is Now song card as that's kind of how you're feeling inside. You want the situation to progress and move along, and maybe that's why the Chariot's here too. This is how you actually feel. But to other people, I want you to appear that you don't care. I want you to be emotionally controlled, be the observer, and especially if you're not normally that kind of person, it's going to be really effective. People are going to be like, what the fuck's going on with her? Why is she being so quiet about this situation? And they're going to ask. They're going to want to know your opinion. You know, it might be that like friends and family are going to be fighting about something. Like, I'm just imagining the scenario of like pretty much this entire video, this entire pick a pile video reading. I've been imagining the dynamics of sitting at like the Thanksgiving family table. And what are the dynamics there? I see like people fighting, people being very heated, and you, whatever your normal role would be. For me personally, in those situations, I usually take on the role of peacemaker. So if that's your usual thing, like the way that you can be the peacemaker is by not engaging in the conversation this time. Because you're not going to be able to make peace with what you say unless what you say is very short and sweet and succinct. That's what I'm seeing. It's like people are going to be respecting that you are staying even-tempered in the situation. And it's going to put, I feel like there's the potential that the end of an argument could actually happen. The end of like a repetitive argument could actually happen if the energy is changed. So whatever the normal role that you play in your family, that you play in the middle of conflict, whether you're normally the peacemaker, you're normally the inciter, you're normally just like somebody that jumps in and kind of follows the flow, whatever your normal approach, maybe your normal approach is this sort of Zen person. And if that's the case, it may be time to change up that energy. Because I think I'm just seeing like a role switch for you, that the best idea for you is to do something differently than you have before, and likely that's more skewed towards the being more of an observer, stepping back, sort of being the Zen one, particularly if everybody else is real heated about something. If everybody else is real heated about something, the way that you can direct the conversation is through being that observer and taking that step back. I kind of want to I haven't been doing like a lot of I haven't been doing like any clarifying cards during this reading, but I kind of just want to I'm interested in this. This might even be my pile, to be honest. King of Swords. So that King of Swords is there. So I feel like it's not like you're going to be silenced. Three of Pentacles. And Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is a departure from how you normally react. In particular, dynamics. And I want to say family dynamics, but it could just be friend group. It could just be if you are spending the holidays just at home with your partner and your cats, and that's it. This is going to be dynamics. You know how we all just sort of fall into roles with each other? We just sort of do that. We can't help it. And the longer we're in a particular relationship with somebody, the more entrenched those roles get. Both of these kings here, and the knight, hanged man, like, yeah, you're going to be able to communicate what you need to communicate, but I just keep getting this feeling of like, wait until someone asks you what you think. I'm just imagining, sorry to belabor this point, but I'm just imagining like everybody's fighting about something at the dinner table or whatever. Everybody's fucking fighting. This is a familiar fight. Everybody has their roles in this fight. Everybody says the same shit every goddamn year. It's the same thing. And it's gonna like throw people off that you're not taking up the normal role that you do. That you're gonna be like just sort of hanging out, watching it happen. If there's a way that you can really detach your emotions from the situation and kind of almost, if you can find it funny, if you can sort of sit back with your, metaphorically, not necessarily you need to do this, but like sit back with your arms crossed and kind of smirk at everybody and just not say anything and wait until like your grandpa looks at you and goes, well, what do you think? I feel like this is my pile, guys. I need to be emotionally detached around my family because they stress me out. I mean, that's not anything, like, I am very lucky. Both my grandparents are still with us. And I get to be around my family. My family's relatively small. I'm lucky. But, so it's not like I have a shitty family or anything. Harmony. Sorry, I'm just like covering the space with cards at this point. Yeah, the way to bring harmony, to bring temperance. I think I was saying the word temperance when we were first shuffling. What is the card on the bottom of the deck? Ten of Wands. Yeah. So if you normally feel very overwhelmed, I almost want advice on like, let's do like one advice card and then I'll stop because my battery is about to die. It says I have 18 minutes, but sometimes it says that and I actually have 3. So let's get one more card as advice on like, okay, but if you're feeling a certain type of way inside, like you're feeling like 10 of Wands inside, you're feeling how soon is now inside, how are you going to protect yourself from feeling all the emotions of your family? Lie. Yeah, you're just going to have to pretend to be calm, like fake it till you make it kind of situation. That's what I'm seeing. This is very intriguing and interesting to me. It's almost like this holiday season is going to be a departure from how you usually view things, how you usually cope. It's almost like your family's going to respect you more after this holiday season. And it's because you're going to it's like you're suddenly going to be able to show them that you do have wisdom. You have grown up. Graceful persistence. You're not going to change your view on things. Your view hasn't changed. Like, even if we're talking about a very specific argument that your family has very often, your view hasn't changed, but they're finally going to be able to hear you because you're going to be more even-tempered than you ever have been, I love that. I love this. Okay, let me know how it goes, pile 3. I'm with you in solidarity. We can do this. Okay, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching, and please consult links below if you want to buy my Oracle decks or buy a reading from me. I love doing it. Okay, bye.